Okay, so in this video I'm going to talk about how to live without a car. Um, so the very first step to living without a car is to shop online. So half of the reason why we use a car is to shop, right? But you can buy everything online now. You can go to Amazon.com or Walmart.com and you can buy anything that you could want to buy. You can buy it online, right? Now, it's not always the best to buy stuff online because, for example, you can't try on clothing when you buy it online. But basically, there's a way to get it done. So that's the first step is don't go to the grocery store to shop for food. Don't go to the mall to shop for stuff. Instead, go online, and that's going to cut off half of your driving right there. Because, I mean, what most people think about when they're trying to get rid of their car is they think to themselves, like, oh, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use Uber or Lyft, but I'm going to use that the same as I would use a car. That's not a good idea. It's better to to try to reduce the amount that you drive. So the second part, and this is the hard part for people, is that you basically have got to get a job that you can either do remotely, or you have to find a job like a construction job where your boss will be willing to give you a ride to the job. Many construction jobs are so desperate for workers that they will give you a ride. Otherwise, you have to get a job within walking distance, although for most people that doesn't seem to be an option for them, right? So you've got to basically choose one of those options, unless you want to Uber to work, or if you can find a coworker who will give you a ride to work, that can sometimes cost less than the Uber, right? So you got to choose one of those options, and basically, once you get rid of your car, your expenses go down a lot because you don't have to pay money for gas. You don't have to pay money for car insurance. But most importantly, you don't have to pay money to fix your car. So one of the most expensive things about a car is that it's constantly breaking all the time, so that you constantly have to pay to fix it, right? So when you don't have a car, you don't have to pay for new tires, you don't have to pay to change your oil, you don't have to worry about, oh, is there sound coming out of my car? And that, basically, when you get rid of your car, you're able to take a pay cut, right? So if you think about, like, how much money you spend on a car, and if you cut that out of your yearly budget, it essentially mathematically means that you're able to make less money and still have the same amount of money, because even though you make less money, you're not spending it on your car, right? So that's the second step, is to choose one of those options that I listed before, okay? And I think the best option is to get a remote job, right? So you take a pay cut, you get a job that's remote, right? If you want to make a lot more money, then you work something like construction, where the boss is willing to give you a ride, right? The last step is to only go out on the weekend. So generally, for a working class person, generally the nightlife is not on the weekday. The nightlife is on the weekend, right? So if you're only going out on the weekend, that's only maybe 4 to 6 Uber rides per week. Otherwise, what you can do is you call up your friends and you all carpool. So one of your friends who has a car comes and picks you all up. You all get a ride. You all go out on the weekend, and you come back in their car, right? One of those two options. So when you only need an Uber when you're going out on the weekend, it actually isn't that expensive to Uber everywhere compared to Ubering as much as you would if you had a car, right? So that's the trick, is just only really go out on the weekend and spend on Uber on the weekend and not on the weekdays, right? And then the last thing that I'll mention is that for things like the gym, you just want to get a home gym, right? Why would you want to go to the gym anyway and get harassed by a bunch of girls trying to catch you looking at them and post it on TikTok when you could just work out at the home gym? So that's the basic gist of how to quit your car.